From translation, KJV King James Version. This 269th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Nahum 1-3. Nahum chapter 1, verses 1-15. The burden of Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum of Elkosh. The Lord is a jealous and avenging God. The Lord taketh vengeance on his adversaries, and he is wroth with his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languisheth. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence, yea, the world and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. But with an overrunning flood he will make an utter end. He will make darkness in the place of all the mighty, and all his enemies shall be pursued with darkness. What do ye imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. For while they be folden together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be consumed as stubble fully dry. There is one gone out from thee that imagineth evil against the Lord, and is a wicked counsellor. Thus saith the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down when he shall pass through. Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now will I break his yoke from off thee, and will burst thy bonds in sunder. And the Lord shall give commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown. Out of the house of thy gods will I cut off the graven image and the molten image. I will make thy grave, for thou art vile. Behold, upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feasts, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee, he is utterly cut off. Nahum chapter 2, verses 1-12. He that scattereth is come up before thy face. Keep the munition, watch the way, make thy loins strong, and get thee ready for the power that shall be exercised upon thee. For the Lord hath turned away the pride of Jacob, as the pride of Israel. For the emptiers have emptied them out, and marred their vine branches. The shield of his mighty men is red, the valiant men are in scarlet. The chariots shall be with flaming torches in the day of his preparation, and the fir trees shall be terribly shaken. The chariots shall rage in the streets, they shall justle one against another in the broad ways. They shall seem like torches, they shall run like the lightning. He shall recount his worthies, they shall stumble in their walk. They shall make haste to the wall thereof, and the defence shall be prepared. The gates of the rivers shall be opened, and the palace shall be dissolved. And Huzzab shall be led away captive, she shall be carried away, and her maids shall lead her as with the voice of doves, tabrets beating upon their breasts. But Nineveh is of old like a pool of water, yet they shall flee away. Stand, stand, shall they cry, but none shall look back. Take ye the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold. For there is none end of the store, and glory out of all the precious things. She is empty and void and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all the loins, and all their faces are wax pale. Where is the den of the lions, and the feeding place of the young lions, where the lion, even the lioness, walked, and the lions whelp, and none made them afraid? The lion did tear in pieces enough for his whelps, and strangled for his lionesses, and filled his holes with prey, and his dens with raven. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and lo, I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions. And I will cut off thy prey from the land, and the voice of thy messengers shall no more be heard. Nahum chapter 3, verses 1-19. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not, the sound of a whip, and the sound of the wheels of chariots, of prancing horses, and of bouncing chariots. The horseman lifteth up the sword, his glittering blade and his bow, and multitudes of slain. Yea, a great abundance of carcasses, and there is no end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. Because of the multitude of the fornications of the well-favoured harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that sold nations by her fornications, and people by her sorceries. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. And I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show thy nakedness to the nations, and thy shame to the kingdoms. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and all the world shall abhor thee. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste, who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comfort for thee? Art thou better than Thebes, that dwelt by the river? Was she not a pleasant place, and a city of delight? Yet was she in overthrow, and she went away into captivity. Her young children also were dashed to pieces at the head of all the streets. And they cast lots for her nobles, and all her mighty men were bound in chains. Thou also shalt be drunken, thou shalt be hid, thou also shalt seek strength because of the enemy. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of thy land are wide open unto thine enemies. The fire hath devoured thy bars. Thy wealth and thy treasures will I give for a prey without price, and all thy labour shall be for nothing in all the provinces. And I will make thee serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For fire shall have kindled a fire in thine anger, which shall burn for ever. All the people of the land shall burn, shall mourn. And all that go by shall be astonished and hiss at thee, because of thy many plagues. Thou hast multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven. The caterpillar looseth and fleeth away. Thy crowned are as the locusts, and thy captains as the great locusts, which camp in the summer and in the summer are destroyed. Thy shepherds sleep, O king of Assyria, thy nobles lie scattered. Thy people are dispersed upon the mountains, and there is none to gather them. There is no assuaging of thy hurt, thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hands over thee. For upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually?